All right, live from Nashville. This is the Crushing Iron amended nightly YouTube podcast. And 48 days out from Ironman, Wisconsin. I'm wearing my Badger hat tonight. And it was a good day. Easy day. We're recovering this week, which I really like and I needed. As you can kind of see, I'm getting a little baggy under the eyes. I didn't sleep good either. Man, sleep is something else. I've got a bad habit of listening to podcasts late at night. And it's obviously because the quiet is disturbing to me. I know it's something I need to work on. I've gone through my bouts of meditation over the years and had moderate success with it. But as we know, the more you meditate, the more you drag stuff up and then you have to deal. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, nice podcast this morning. If you missed it, it's episode 287. And it's basically called, what is it called? Oh, more isn't a plan. Meaning so many people just feel like they need to add more and more onto their volume to be ready for something like Ironman. And while that is true to a large extent, that isn't the solution to racing well necessarily. And we sort of argued, I guess, that many people go into races overtrained and underprepared. So that's the angle. And keeping with that theme, I swam a nice 2,000 meters tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, inside. I had been swimming a little bit outside, but it's so hot that that water's warm and the sun bakes down on you. And it was actually nice to get inside and glare and swim. It was a nice 2,000 swim. I've been talking about how my swim is a little bit behind. It usually does lag, and I will pick up extreme frequency as I get closer. I don't typically swim massive distances, or I don't do massive hard workouts necessarily. But my thing with swimming is always to find a nice pocket that feels good and easy and comfortable, yet strong, if that makes sense. So I like to, I always struggle with form, and I think a lot of us have that same struggle where we will think about our form so much that it becomes tension riddled, and that very tension is what slows you down and makes you tired. So today I was really focusing on just relaxing, and it was an easy swim, and it was supposed to be a recovery swim, so I just went slow, and I wasn't like overly concentrating on keeping my legs up or doing all this stuff, and I was moderately concerned with keeping my elbow high in the water, but I wasn't stickler, I guess, with myself. I was just sort of letting things happen and realizing that I had to almost surrender to swimming, and letting the arms flow. And a lot of times when I'm catching, I'm thinking very hard about just pulling back so hard. And well, obviously that's a good way to move fast forward. I think just the motion, if it's consistent and the timing is good with both arms, and you're flowing through the stroke like a paddle wheel. I always used to call that analogy, or like sort of like just coming through and over the front of the nose of a tank tread and just kind of keeping that motion going. And I don't think you need to really act like you're lifting weights. I just think you need to move the arms and get momentum. And of course I don't do flip turns, so I was turning around at each end, and I keep thinking about, Wisconsin is a wetsuit swim. There's no turns. So for me, it's all about going forward with the least amount of energy possible. And that's what it felt like today. And I've long contended that one of the best things to do for swimming is push-ups, and I have been back into that groove. And I don't know if that's why I felt a little stronger today than normal, but I have a suspicion that it may. And I mess around with pull-up bar and hanging and things like that. I don't really do pull-ups per se, but I sort of do a lot of half pull-ups. I kind of just activate my lats and things like that, and just sort of pull-ups for a guy my age is a little tricky. I do some assisted pull-ups, but I do a lot of hanging and a lot of twisting and turning on the pull-up bar, and lift my knees up and work the core. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of push-ups and a little more core work lately, and some just core stuff, like sort of centered around the idea that I'm going to be swimming. I get on my hands and knees and sort of do that one arm out with my leg kicked back as sort of an extension practice, I guess, for a good reach. And the other thing I was doing, just I wasn't so concerned about keeping my legs up. I wasn't like thinking hard about that today. I was just, I mean, I do use, I mean, the confession, I guess, is I use a pull buoy, but I was just letting everything sink. I wasn't, I was more in tune with getting a nice reach, a nice pull, and what we would call pointed toes and things like that. So anyway, this doesn't seem to be drawing a whole lot of attention tonight. So I am going to leave it at that, but please let me know if you want me to keep doing these. I feel like, I'm trying to bring a little bit of something, and we're talking about Wisconsin a lot. So I don't know. Anyway, that's that for that. And please listen to the Crushing Iron podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, FM stream, all that stuff. And appreciate you for listening. It's been a record month of downloads. So hopefully you guys are getting some stuff out of it. I appreciate it. Thanks.